And if we think about the internet, like what created the 1995 moment where all of a sudden regular people were just going to the store, buying a box, putting it in their house, and going online is because all these parts had been developed to a maturity that was just enough to provide for a seamless, pretty seamless customer experience. And I think that is where we're at with Bitcoin. 2023, 2024 is going to be the 1995 moment, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as channel management, so when we go into layer 2 and you're talking about channel management, do you have any type of centralization concerns when we talk about, I'll provide an example. So like Wallet of Satoshi, when I'm using that with Nostr and just looking at the ease of sending 5 sats to somebody or 20,000 sats to somebody, it just works. It's super fast. It, the app immediately pulls up. I click send and like, boom, the screen turns green, but I'm not self-custodying it. When I do my own self-custody, I just don't get the speed. And maybe that's, again, going back to technical competence. It might be on my end. I'm sure there's some really smart technical people that get the immediate feedback. But whenever I was doing it on my own, it just wasn't as fast as using Wallet of Satoshi. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll throw $300 on Wallet of Satoshi and kind of use that to zap some sats around in a really fast and effective way that I just don't have to think about channel management. But is that a centralization concern is really kind of the question. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are for sure some concerns, and I think there's always going to be that friction where if you run your own node, you can't really have the same nice experience as a company that does nothing but that and has lots of users. Kind of like maybe there's an analogy with email, right? In the beginning, people thought everybody would run their own email server, and then it's like, no. What happened is certain companies specialized, and those became the dominant email providers. I think it's likely we're going to head that way, but I don't know enough about. It seems to be that because Bitcoin is an open protocol, that you can really build things. Build infrastructure for people who don't want that, who are willing to, and also it's different. Changing email there might be more friction involved than changing your Lightning provider. So maybe the competition is just going to be more fierce, which is good for the consumer. And also fundamentally, it doesn't really worry me, even if there are issues there, because the base layer is decentralized. The base layer is not going to be attacked, and so yeah, of course, if basically your wallet can get stolen, right? It's like $200 in your wallet. It's just a risk. That's cash for you. That's just what happens with cash. But if your money is safe in the bank, that's the main thing that we got to worry about. And I think people are going to be just less concerned about Lightning stuff for a long time, because it's only a small part of their Bitcoin experience or their Bitcoin portfolio, so to speak.
And it's becoming so seamless. It's becoming
right.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, and then you can be like, oh, I have $2,000 worth of Bitcoin in my Lightning wallet. Let's sweep some in cold storage. You just move it to a safer place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about fees when we started off, and like all this like layer 1 fees. And it's like, I could send you 10,000 sats right now, and there's basically no fees associated with any of it. Right. And so people that are maybe new and showing up to these conversations and hearing us talk about that, like, well, how in the hell is that possible? Right? They just said the fees were really high.
Incredible.
Right. It's crazy.
Do you remember that there was a little competition? They had a prize for whoever managed to send the smallest Lightning transaction in terms of amount.
Yeah.
And I forget the Bitcoin amount. It was like fractions of a Satoshi, which is like, a billionth of a Bitcoin or something. And somebody calculated that amount was less than the price you'd have to pay for 1 grain of sand if you order like a bulk amount of sand. So anyway, it's just like mind blowing to think like these are the quantities that Bitcoin can facilitate, the Bitcoin network.